laws. You got a question? Can we prove that God is black? Yes, we can. Get me that. I'm gonna prove it real quick for you. What's your name? James. Okay, go ahead. Read that.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days did sit. The Ancient of Days is the Most High, because he has no end of days, he has no beginning of days. You understand? Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow.
So the reason why this is important that he had a garment on, because many people say God is just a puff of smoke. But he had a garment on. He had clothes on. You understand? Read on.
And the hair of his head.
So the Lord has hair. Go ahead.
Like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool. Who has woolly hair today? Do you know where wool comes from? Sheep. So who has that cotton soft hair today? Like who? Black people. So that proves that the Lord is what? A black man. You see that? Very straightforward. Read on.
Like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool. Just like his son Christ. He's a black man. He has hair like wool. We read that earlier. Were you here? You want to hear? You want to read about Christ having the same description? Yeah, let's get that. Revelation. Read that. Go straight to the point.
Revelation.
So that was Most High, the Father. Now we're going to talk about his son. Like you look like your father. Do you understand? I'm sure your father ain't Chinese, is he? Right. So if the Most High God is black, that means his son will be black also. That makes sense, right? Okay, go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
His head and his hairs, so the hairs on his head and his face were white in color and what?
Like wool.
Like wool. Wool-like. Same thing. So the Father looks like the Son. Does that make sense? Go ahead. So my question is, who is that? You know, you've seen this picture before, right? Who did they say this is? According to the Bible, is that true? No. So someone's been telling lies, right? Right. So what do you think the effect is when we push lies that Christ looks like him? So people start believing, right? Now, if you look at who Christ looks like us. Now, if you look at the condition of our people in our communities, would you say we're living the good life right now? No. How do we treat one another? Have you ever heard of Chinese on Chinese crime? Right, but you don't hear about it, right? Do you ever hear of Arab on Arab crime? Have you heard of black on black crime? It's common, right? You know why? Because our people don't understand that their brother has Christ in them. That's what they don't understand. If I'm about to shoot someone and I understand that their lineage descends from the greatest people that ever lived, I'd think twice about shooting them, don't you think? But our people don't know that because they've been miseducated. So that's why when people say, oh, what does it matter that Christ is a black man? It matters a lot. Just look at the condition of our people. That shows you. You know who's got the highest rate of abortion in the community? Our black sisters. You know why? What do they normally do to their hair? They make it straight. Who do you think they're trying to look like? They're trying to look like him, right? And then when they make it straight, what else do they do to their hair? They dye it. People might think I'm making this up. Look behind you.
Hello.
You see that? So the Bible is the sister right there in front of you. You don't see the sister? You see the sister, right? So what we're teaching is not fairy tales. What's your name? James, right? You were shocked by that, right? So you're understanding that the Bible is a true book. You're seeing that, right? So now that we understand that Christ looks like us, we understand that your dad obviously is from Israel, your grandma's from Israel, your granddad's from Israel. What does that mean? Do you understand? Because the Lord created us for a purpose. Do you understand? So we're going to get what that purpose is, okay? So, what country from? Where's your dad from? Ivory Coast. So you be from the tribe of Judah, of the nation of Israel. You understand? That's the head tribe. You come from a tribe of kings. You understand? The house of kings. You're royalty. Yeah? That's right. Pat yourself on the chest. That's what I'm talking about. Right? And your brother as well, him as well. He's a king as well. Don't get it twisted. All right, you're in this together. All right. Where was we going? Oh, Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. So this is your job description as an Israelite, as a chosen person on the earth. Do you understand? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
And now, Israel, what does the Lord require from you? So you have a requirement to the Lord. Go ahead.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
No one's ever taught you this, that you have responsibilities to the Lord. No one's ever taught you this, have they? Right, go ahead.
To walk in all his ways.
To walk in all his ways. So when the Bible says thou shalt not, you don't do it.
Right.
When the Bible says you shall, then you do it. You
Right.
understand? It's very easy. Go ahead.
And to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandments.
That's your job description. To
Right.
keep the commandments. Because when you keep the commandment, when he keeps the commandment, when we all keep the commandments, we're going to be above all nations.
Right.
That's the blessing. Everything you touch is yours.
Right.
You walk into a bit of land and you want it to be yours, it's yours.
Right.
That's what the blessings involve. You understand? Go ahead.
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command you this day for thy good.
So these commandments, when you keep it, it's for your good. It actually benefits you. Do you understand? I'm gonna show you an example. Let's get me Exodus 20. I'm gonna show you how these commandments. What's your name, brother?
Yes.
What's your name? Jaquan. I know what Jaquan. All praises. And James, I'm gonna show you when we collectively come together and keep these commandments. I'm gonna show you what happens. Get me Exodus 20, verse 8.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter.
So read it from the top. Let's take it slow.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The Lord doesn't pick words at random. Do you know why he said remember? Because he knew we'd forget who we are. So if we forget who we are, how are we supposed to know that we're supposed to keep his commandments? That's why he said remember. Right? Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
We have 6 days to do our work. Right? So that's your homework. That's your work to get paid. Work around the house. You understand? We have 6 days to do those things. Go ahead.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord our God. The seventh day is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Do you understand? A day begins when the sun goes down. So when that seventh day comes in, we're not supposed to do any work. He set that aside for us to rest. Do you understand? Just like he set us aside among all the nations that will be special unto him. It's the same thing, right? So, read on.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
You see that? Yo, my bro, Jaquan, is it Jaquan? And James. So these are commandments that God has required from you. Do you understand?
Right.
Because what we're supposed to do from a young man is gather instruction from our, if I get that, Sirach 6 and 18. Because when we're a young man, we need to learn things. But when we get to our older age, we're on point. Do you agree with that? That's what we got to do. So that's why we got the Bible here to instruct us on how to live our life. So you become the king you are, the ruler. You're meant to be a ruler on this earth, you know. That's a big thing. So we have to gather the instructions to get to that standard, all right? Listen up. Jaquan, listen up. I see you back there. Jaquan, come on, focus, Jaquan. Stay focused.
Sirach chapter 6 verse 18.
Listen up.
My son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
See that? Gather instruction from your youth. So you got to have God's commandments in your mind so you know when someone's doing something wrong about to steal something, you don't do it because God said it. When someone's about to kill someone, you say, no, I ain't going to do that because God said it.
Right.
Do you understand? When it comes to you getting older and getting married, you're not going to have no girls all over the place. You're going to get married.
Right.
Yeah, Jaquan, marriage. Don't be like that because God could judge us for that. You understand? Okay? Get Sirach 25 and 3. Yeah, because you need to get the laws in your mind so that when you're walking around the street, you understand that you know what the right thing to do is. Yeah? Listen up.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 3. If thou gather nothing in thy youth, how can thou find anything in thine age?
See that? If you don't get nothing in your youth, when you get older, you're just going to be what you call, I'm going to get it in young terms, a waste man. That's what they call a waste man, because you have nothing in your youth. That's what we need to do, is renew our mind. Because a lot of the youth, like, because we got family here, all of us are family. You're my family, you're my brother, you're my sister. But we have to get the family structure in place. And the children have to learn God's commandments. Because we gave you one of the commandments, which was, do you remember? About the Sabbath day. See, short memory. See, that's why we got to keep drumming it in every time that we listen to it. Do you understand? All right? So I'm going to get you some more commandments. Because you see these things on our clothes now, yeah? You see everything here, every brother's got it, yeah? They're called fringes. Fringes, yeah? I'm going to show you that as another commandment in the Bible. So this is part of gathering an instruction from our youth up. So we need to come back to God's commandments and start doing that with our children and our younger men like you two. Right. It starts with you two, trust me. You may think, oh, I'm just young, I'll get away with this, I'll get away with that. No, you have to start changing your mind now, so that when you get older, you're going to be able to be on point and not be a waste man. No more waste man. The black man is not a waste man. He's a God on the earth. You understand?
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generation.
See that? We have to wear fringes in the borders of our garments. So that's part of gathering instruction in our youth up.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.